Hello. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to the webinar. I am the tutor, that's the maths tutor at LearnPick. I hope you are doing good. So the topic for today we have is sneak peek into polynomials. Today I'll be telling you a lot of stuff regarding polynomials. So let's get started with that. Okay, so the topic we have is sneak peek into polynomials. Now, what does that mean? Sneak peek into polynomials is we'll be studying some of the stuff from polynomials. Now, polynomials is a topic from mathematics, that is algebra part. Okay, so this is very interesting topic. So let's get into it. Now, what are we going to study in today's webinar is polynomials and its type, that is #1, that is the first part. Second part we'll be studying is #2, polynomial in one variable, and #3, that is value and zeros of a polynomial. I am Pooja and I am here to explain you all these three hashtags of today from the polynomial. Okay, so let's get started with the first hashtag, that is polynomial and its types. So first we have is constant. Okay, so before starting with polynomial, we'll be studying some terms. Now these terms are very much important for you to know before you get to learn regarding polynomials. Now why are they important? As if you want to write any sentence or any word, it is important for you to know what is ABCD, correct? The same goes with these terms as well. So whenever you have to study regarding polynomials, it is important that you should be knowing about these terms as well. Okay, so let's get started with it. So the first is the constant. Now, what does a constant mean? It is a fixed numerical value. Now, okay, so fixed numerical value, that means it will be any number. Okay, so 1, 13, 15, 855, it can be any number out of the numerical values. Okay, let's talk about the second part, that is the variables. Now, what does a variable mean? A variable means it is a letter which takes different numerical value. Now, if you talk about a constant, so if 1 is a number, it is 1 throughout the question, right? It is not going to change anywhere or anytime at a point in the question, but or in the solution. But if you talk about variables, it can be x, X, Y, A, B, any alphabets from A to Z. So the values of those alphabets can change. Like if you put a value of X as 1, so the next time you can put it as 5. Okay, so the variables can change according to the values which you take. Okay, so constants are the fixed numerical values and variables are what? These are letters. Okay, let's talk about the very specific part. Now, what's that? We'll be taking a constant and a variable. Let's see what we get out of it. So when we take a constant and a variable together, they are called as terms. Okay, together they are called as terms. Now, what does that mean? Term means whenever we have constant and a variable together in a algebraic expression. Now, I'll be telling you what is an algebraic expression. First, you know what a term is. Okay, so term is which makes an expression. Okay, like if you talk about a sentence, so a group of letters and words will make sentence. So same, when we have constant and variable, it makes a term. Here we have an example, that is 13x plus 4. 13x we know is a term and 4 is also a term. Okay, so in this case the variable is not present, but still we have a constant. Even then it is considered to be a term. So plus sign is called as the operations. Now what does that mean? Operation is not the operation which the doctors do. It's exactly the signs. It can be plus, minus, multiplication sign or division sign. Okay, so these signs are separated by different terms. Okay, this together is called an algebraic expression. Okay, getting it? So constant are fixed numbers, variables are letters, and what are operations? These are plus, minus, negative, plus, minus, multiplication, and division signs. Okay. Now, let's talk about what is a polynomial, because that's the topic, right? So what is a polynomial? Polynomial is an expression in which all powers of variables are whole number. Now, okay, fine, this sounds quite big, but let's look out for the terms inside it so you can get a clear idea about it. So first, let's talk about what is an expression. Okay, expression mean an algebraic expression. So expression is a mathematical statement. Why mathematical statements? Because we'll be having plus sign, minus sign, numbers and variables. Okay, without an equal to sign. Now, what does that mean? In an equation, you might have seen x plus y is equal to 0. Okay, that is an equation. Okay, we have an equal to sign over there. But in an expression, we do not have an equal to sign. So that's what an algebraic expression is. Next, we have this whole numbers. Okay, so what are whole numbers? Whole numbers are numbers from 0 to infinite are called as whole numbers. Okay. So, polynomial is an expression in which all powers of the variable. Now, I've already told you what is a variable. Variables are the alphabets. Okay, they should have powers with which are whole numbers. Okay, examples. I'll be giving you a variety of examples, so you'll be very much clear about what are polynomials. Okay. So y 5 by 4 plus 9. Now, very important part when you have to guess that the given expression is a polynomial or not is just look out at the variables. Okay, so what is the variable over here? Y. What is the power of y? 5 by 4. Is 5 by 4 a whole number? No, it is not. That means the given example is not a polynomial. Let's look out for the next one. 5x squared plus 9x plus 7. Again, look out for the variables. For the x squared, whole number. For the 9x, the power is again a whole number. That means this is a polynomial. Okay, let's look out for the next one. So 9 x to the power 1, 9x, that means x to the power 1, and if we don't have any variable, that means it is 0. Okay, x to the power 0, that is 1, it is not 0. Variable with power 0 is always 1, it is not 0. Okay, now let next example is 0.5 p by p raised to 5 plus root 3 p raised to minus 3 plus 5 by 3 p. Okay, it looks very complicated. Don't look out for the constant, just look out for the variables. So in the first term, p to the power 5. 5 is a whole number, correct? If you talk about p to the power minus 3, so minus 3 is a whole number? No, minus 3 is not a whole number. That means this polynomial, it is not a polynomial. Okay, so this is not a polynomial. Let's look out for the next example. 5x squared plus xy minus 7y squared. Check out for the variables. All have the powers as whole numbers. It is a polynomial. Okay, we have some complicated questions now. Okay, I'm just scaring you out, don't worry. So we have root 3x squared minus 6 by x minus 12 by 5. Okay, x in the denominator. That means, oh, so x has the power positive. No, that is not the correct thing. X 6 by x can also be written as 6x to the power minus 1. So whenever we have a variable which is in denominator, so its power becomes negative. So in a polynomial, we cannot have a power as negative. Therefore, it is not a polynomial. 2x squared plus 5x plus 0.9. Okay, so let's look out for the variables. All the variables have the power as whole numbers. Therefore, it is a polynomial. Okay, let's look out for the next one. Root x plus 9. So root x, okay, this is some important things like if the variable is in denominator or it has root. So these are the important things you have to remember. So root x can also be written as x to the power 1 by 2. So is 1 by 2 a whole number? No, it is not. Therefore, this given example is not a polynomial. Okay, so I hope you are clear what exactly a polynomial is. Okay, so it will be having, it is a expression. First of all, it is an algebraic expression. Okay, it'll be having variables which should have powers as whole number, and it will be having constant. No equal to sign. Remember, okay, we can see out of all the example there is no equal to sign in it. Okay. Okay, so the real definition of polynomials. It is an algebraic expression, like the typical mathematical definition of polynomials. Okay, so it is an algebraic expressions, p of x of the form. Now, what does p of x means? P of x means polynomial of x. Okay, so why polynomial of x only? It can be any alphabet, whatever alphabet we have in the question. It can be p of y, z, q, a, b, anything. Okay, of the form, so p of x is equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x2 plus till an x raised to n. Now what does this, what does that mean? Looks very complicated, but it is not. Okay, so a0 is are all the real numbers. Okay, so these are all the real numbers beside the variables, and all the indices of x. Now what does indices means? It is again the powers of x are non-negative integers. That means we shouldn't have any negative number over there. That means all the whole numbers is called a polynomial. So I'll easily tell you how to remember is, we'll be having numbers, with that we'll be having a variable. Okay, number and a variable will be having another number and variable, another number and variable. Together, they'll be forming a polynomial. Okay, so the power can be any number. Okay, and the real number can be any number. Okay, so an algebraic expression of the form p of x is equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x2 till an xn, where a0, a1, a2, an are the real numbers. N is what? N is any number, okay, till infinity are the real numbers, and all the indices of x are non-negative integers, is called a polynomial. Okay, so I hope you are clear with what are polynomials. So here we have some terms related to polynomials. So let's get into it and learn about them in detail. What are those terms? First we have is, what is a coefficient? Number associated with the variable is the coefficient. Okay, now what does that mean? Each term of the polynomial has coefficient. So I've already told you what is a term. Term is each part of the polynomial separated by the operations. Okay, let's take an example to get the clear idea about coefficient. So whatever number is present with the variable, like for example, if this is the variable and here we have a number, okay, so this number is considered to be a coefficient. Okay, so let's take an example to this. Minus x cubed plus 4x squared plus 7x minus 2. Okay, this is an example. So let's find out what is the coefficient for each term. Okay, minus x cubed is a term, 4x squared is a term, 7x is a term, and minus 2 is a term. Okay, you have to look out for the signs as well. Positive sign, negative sign. You have to check out those as well. So x cubed is minus 1. Okay, because there is no number beside the variable, right? That means it will be 1. It cannot be 0, because then then the x will become 0, right? So if there is no number with any variable, that means it is 1. As you can see, it is minus x, so the coefficient will be minus 1. Okay, let's check for the second term. So 4x squared. So 4 is the coefficient. Okay, it is positive 4, right? So we are not putting the plus sign, we'll just be putting the, if the term is negative, then we'll be putting the minus sign. X is 7 for the third term. So what number is beside x? 7. Therefore 7 is the coefficient. For the next term, minus 2 is the coefficient. We can say that there is no variable present. Sorry, no variable means x to the power 0 is the variable in that case. Okay, and very important part to remember, x to the power 0 is always 1. Okay, if you want, you can note these points down as well. Okay, so let's look out for the first term related to it. What is a degree? Okay, this is not the degree about graduate, like what we get after graduation and after 11, 12. These are not those degrees, okay? So this is a degree related to mathematics and algebra. Okay, degree is highest power of variable. Okay, what does that mean? It means that in a polynomial, we can find different terms, right? So in all of those terms, whichever variable will be having the highest number, that is the degree of that polynomial. Okay, so 3x squared plus 7. So you can see that we have x in both the terms, but which x has the highest number? 2. Therefore 2 is the degree. Okay, let's take this example also of the coefficient ones, so you can get the clear idea of the degree. The polynomial is minus x cubed plus 4x squared plus 7x minus 2. Tell me what's the degree to this. Is it 2? Is it 1? No, it is 3, because all of the, like among all the 4 terms, you can see that the 3 has the highest power. That is, 3 is the highest number of all those. So 3 is the degree of this polynomial. Okay, so now we are clear with what is a coefficient and a degree. Now let's get what a polynomial in one variable is. Okay, so polynomial in one variable is, let's take an example to this. Variable, I've already told you what are variables. Um, these are alphabets. Okay, it can be any alphabet from A to Z. 2x cubed plus 5x squared plus x minus 2. So is it a polynomial in one variable or not? How will you find that? Variable is only one alphabet. Variable is only alphabets. Okay, so one variable means that in throughout the expression, we will be having only a single alphabet or a single letter in it. Then the polynomial can be considered as a polynomial in one variable. Okay, so 2x squared plus 5x squared plus x minus 2, you can see that throughout the expression only one letter can be observed, that is x. Therefore this given polynomial is a polynomial in one variable. Okay, I hope you're clear with what is polynomial in one variable. That means that throughout the polynomial, you should have only one variable in it. Okay. Let's move towards some questions of the topics that we have learned. That means what is a polynomial? Okay. Then what else? Polynomial in one variable. Okay, so we'll be finding the answers to the questions. First, I'll be giving you questions. You have to try them out. Later, I'll be telling you the answers as well. So 4x squared minus 3x plus 7, y squared plus root 2, 3 root t plus t root 2, and y plus 10x minus t. These are the questions for this part. So which of the following expressions are polynomials in one variable and which are not? State reasons for your answer. So for these questions, what you have to specifically do is, first you have to find, is it a polynomial? Okay, and then second thing what you have to do is it a polynomial in one variable? You have to find both these things. Okay, I'll give you a minute to answer, to find the answer to these questions. Okay, let's find the answer to these questions. So let's find, first of all, is it a polynomial or not? The first question. You don't have to find the... Okay, so you don't have to find the coefficient, okay? You have to answer that the given question is a polynomial or not, or is it a polynomial in one variable? Okay, I'll tell you. So first question, is it a polynomial? Yes, it is a polynomial. Okay. Is it a polynomial in one variable? Now you check, if you check throughout the question, you can see that only one variable is present. Therefore, it is a polynomial in one variable. Okay. Let's get to the reason why. Because in throughout the question, you can see only one variable and the powers of those variables are whole numbers. Therefore, the given example is a polynomial. Okay. Let's look out for the next one. So, is it a polynomial? Yes, it is a polynomial. Is it a polynomial in one variable? Yes, it is a polynomial in one variable. Okay, the reason is the power of the variable is whole number, and we have only a single letter throughout the example. Let's look out for the next question. 3 root t plus t root 2. So is it a polynomial? No, it is not a polynomial. Okay, why is it not a polynomial? Because root t can also be written as 1 by 2, which I have already explained in the previous questions, previous examples. So it is not a polynomial. And is it a polynomial in one variable? Yes, it is an algebraic expression in one variable, not a polynomial. Okay. Because if it's not a polynomial, it cannot be a polynomial in one variable, right? Y plus 10x minus t, it is a polynomial. You can see that the power of all the alphabets is whole number. Therefore, it is a polynomial, and it is not a polynomial in one variable because you can see that y, x, t. So we have three variables in this case. Okay. Okay, so here we have some more questions that what are coefficients. So I've already told you what are coefficient. Now I want you guys to answer these questions on the Q&A part. So I would get to know that did you get the did you get this part or not? So let's look out for the question first. So write the coefficient of x square in each of the following. Okay, so only for the x square part you have to tell me what are the coefficient. So here are your questions. I would like to know from you guys these answers. So the first question is 3 plus 7x square plus 2x. Second question is 2 minus x square plus x. Third question is root 2x minus 1. And the fourth question is pi by 2 x square plus x. Okay, tell me your answers for what is the answer to the first question. Tell me what is the coefficient of x square in the first question. Okay, I'll tell you the answer to these questions. So let's check them out. So for the first term, for the first part, so 7x squared. So 7 is the coefficient of the first question. For the second one, minus 1 is the coefficient. And for the third one, we can see that there is no term with x squared, therefore 0 is the coefficient. For the fourth one, you can see that x squared has the term pi by 2, therefore the coefficient of x squared is pi by 2. So here we are done with the coefficients part. Now let's find the answer to write the degree of each of the following polynomials. Okay, so you have to find the degree. So what is the degree of a polynomial? It is the highest power. Okay, so tell me what are the answer to these questions? Yes, correct, Akash. You are totally correct what you have answered the questions to. I would like to tell rest of the people to take an initiative and answer to the questions. Okay, let's find the answer to these questions. So we can see that for each of the term in the first question 5x cubed. So 3 is the highest degree. For the second one, you can observe that 2 is the highest power, and for the third, 1, and for the fourth one, you can see that there is no variable in that part. Therefore, 0 is considered to be the highest degree of that polynomial. Okay. Hashtag 2. That means we are done with the first part of this webinar, that is how to find the coefficients, degree, and what is a polynomial. Okay, so let's get into the hashtag 2 part, that is types of polynomials. Okay, so as we know that in a lot of things we can find types of it, so in polynomials also we have types of polynomials. Okay, I'll give you a clear example. Why do we have to classify the polynomials? As you know that whenever you have to arrange your clothes in the cupboard, you may do it according to the basis of the color of your clothes or according to the style. Okay, so on the same basis, so that you can easily get those clothes whenever you need it. Same as well for polynomials, like quite similar. So polynomials are classified as per the terms or as per the degree. Okay, now terms, I've already told you, terms means each value present in a polynomial, and degree is the highest power. So let's look out for the terms first. So the first is monomial. Now what does a monomial mean? Mono means one. Okay, mono means single term. So if there is a polynomial, only a single term, it is a monomial. Okay, here we have some examples: 7, 8x, 4p square cube. These are the examples of a monomial. Next, we have a binomial. Now, what does a binomial mean? Binomial, bino means two terms. Okay, so in this polynomial, we'll be having two terms. Next, we have is trinomial. So what does a trinomial mean? Trino means three terms. Okay, so in this trinomial, we'll be having three terms. Okay, so 5x minus 3y plus 7, x square minus 2xy plus y square. Let's look out for the next classification of polynomials on the basis of the degree, that is the highest power. First, we have the linear polynomial. Okay, linear does not mean straight over here. Okay, so linear means highest power of the variable should be 1. So in a polynomial, if the degree, we just solved some question regarding degree, so you already know how to find the degree of a polynomial. So if the degree of the polynomial is 1, it is considered to be a linear polynomial. Okay, so in these examples, you can see 2x minus 5, 5y plus 1, p minus 1 by 2. So in all of these three examples, 1 is the highest power. Therefore, these are called as the linear polynomial. Okay, let's look out for the next one. Quadratic polynomial. Okay, this sounds scary, but it is not. It is very easy. Okay, let's look out for the example so you'll get idea about this. Quadratic means it has the highest power as 2. Okay, so of the polynomial, if the highest power is 2, then that polynomial is called a quadratic polynomial. So the examples are 2x squared plus 3x minus 7. So in the first example, you can see that 2 is the highest power. In the second example, you can see that a square minus 2ab plus b square. So 2 is the highest power. In the next example, 3p square minus 4. So 2 is the highest power. Okay. Let's look out for the next and the last type of polynomial according to the degree, that is cubic polynomial. Now, what does that mean? Highest power of the variable is 3. So if we have a polynomial and in which the highest power is 3, that polynomial is considered to be a cubic polynomial. Okay, so here are some example. So 8x cubed. So you can see that 3 is the highest power, correct? So this is a cubic polynomial. In the next one, a cube plus 2a square minus 3, you can see that the highest power is again 3. So here we are done with the types of polynomial. I'll just give you a quick revision to these polynomials so you are clear with it. Okay. Polynomials are classified as per the terms and degree. Okay, so in terms we have three parts: monomial, binomial, and trinomial. Now what does that mean? Mono means one, bino means two, and trino means three. So in monomial one term, binomial two term, and trinomial three terms. According to the degree, again we have three types. So first we have is linear polynomial, that is highest power is 1. Okay, second we have quadratic polynomial, highest power is 2. And cubic polynomial, highest power is 3. Okay, I hope you don't have any doubts in this part. Let's move towards the next part. Here I have some questions for you again. So classify the following as linear, quadratic, and cubic polynomials. Linear, quadratic, and cubic polynomials. Be clear with that, okay? On what basis you have to answer the question. Okay, so here are your questions: 3x and 9x, 2x x squared plus x, y plus y squared plus 4, 7x squared, x minus x cube. I'll give you a minute to answer to these questions. Let's see if you can find out. Okay, I hope you have got your answers. Just check it out. I'm answering all the questions. So the first part we have is linear polynomials, okay, because you can see that in both the questions the highest power is 1. For the second, they are quadratic because the highest power is 2, and the third one, they are cubic polynomials because the highest power is 3. Okay, here we have a question again. So this is very simple question, okay? You can randomly answer to this question. You don't need a perfect answer what I give, because the main thing what you have to do over here is you have to give an example of a binomial. Binomial means two terms, right? So in which the degree of the polynomial should be 35. Okay, and a monomial of degree 100. I want your answers. Do try them out. Okay, let's check the answer to these questions. So binomial of degree 35 may be taken as x to the power 35 minus 8. So here you need only two terms. Okay, so in the first term you can see that the power of x is 35. So the condition is already satisfied, that is the degree should be 35, and two terms, that is x to the power 35 and 8. You can take any sort of example in this part. Y to the power 35 minus 5. Okay, it can be 3x to the power 35 minus 5x, like that. Okay, it can be any example. Let's take for the next one, that is monomial of degree 100. So monomial means what? Only one term. So in one term you can write this answer, and that is 3x to the power 100. Now you can simply also write y to the power 100, 5x to the power 100, 5a to the power 100, a to the power 100, b to the power 100. You can write according whatever number you like. Okay. Okay, so you're done with the second part as well, that is hashtag 2 is done. Let's jump into third part, that is hashtag 3, that is value of a polynomial. Okay, so in this part, value of a polynomial, I'll be explaining you very much clearly what does that mean. So you don't have to worry about that. Looks quite scary, but it's not. Okay, so if p of x is a polynomial in x and if k is any real number, okay, so what does that mean? P of x means polynomial of x. That means x is the variable over here. Okay, and if k is any real number, so what we are doing in this case is we are taking, okay, what we are doing in this case is we are taking a polynomial. We are taking a polynomial, okay, in which the value of the variable is put by some other number. Like for example, p of x. So in place of x, x is the variable, right? So in place of x, if you use any other number, okay, and solve throughout the polynomial, so whatever answer you get is the value of a polynomial. Okay, the definition looks quite scary and confusing, but it's quite simple. You have a variable, put any number over there, and whatever answer you get after solving the question is the value of a polynomial. Okay, so if p of x is a polynomial in x and if k is any real number, then the value obtained by putting x is equal to k is p of x. So p of x is the question. At the end, whatever answer you will be getting, that will be the value of p of x only, correct? Because in place of x, you're putting something else. It's called the value of the polynomial. I'll give you an example so you'll get a clear idea about this. The value of p of x at x is equal to k is denoted by p of k. Okay, so what does that mean? In p of x, so polynomial of x, in place of x, you write k. Okay, so here is a question. P of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 7. Okay, now what we are doing is we'll replace x by 5. Okay, so let's solve this polynomial by putting x as 5. In place of x, you have to put 5. Okay, replace it. So then p of 5. So in place of x, what you are doing? You're putting 5. So it will be 5 square minus 5 into 5 plus 7. Okay, I've done nothing, just replaced the x with 5. Okay, is equal to, what is 5 square? 25. What is 5 into 5? 25 plus 7. You can see that 25 minus 25 is 0. So what is the answer to this question? It is 7. Okay, so now 7 is considered to be the value of the polynomial. Okay, so in place of 5, you can put some other number. In the question, they'll be mentioning what. Okay, so whatever answer you'll get at the end of the solution, that is the value of the polynomial. Okay, so what is the value of a polynomial? In place of a variable, you put a number, and after solving the question, what answer you get is the value of a polynomial. Okay, let's look out for an example for this so you have a clear idea and like what is the value of a polynomial. So the question is, find the value of the polynomial 5x minus 4x squared plus 3 plus x is equal to 2. Okay, so what you have to do is, in the polynomial, in place of x, you have to put 2. Okay, let's solve this. I'll give you a minute. Why don't you guys try this out? In place of x, just put 2. Then we'll check if your answers are correct or not. Okay, let's check the solution of this question. So let p of x is equal to px, p of x, that is polynomial of x. As you can see, the variable in the question is x. So we'll consider it at p of x. Okay, is equal to 5x minus 4x square plus 3. Okay, so this question same I've copied. Next, at x is equal to 2. So what is the question? You have to put 2 in place of x. So what will be p of 2 now? It will be 5 into 2 minus 4 into 2 the whole square plus 3. Okay. So 5 into 2 is 10 minus 4 into 2 square. What is 2 square? That is 60. Sorry, 2 square is 4. So 4 into 4 is 16 plus 3. After solving this, you'll get the answer as minus 3. So now what is the polynomial of value of the polynomial at x is equal to 2? That is minus 3. Okay. Clear with this? What is the value of a polynomial? Okay, let's move towards the next topic, zeros of a polynomial. Okay, now what does that mean? Okay, this topic is quite important. Okay, so I'll I'll tell you the explanation of the zeros of a polynomial first, and then we'll solve some questions also. Okay, so what is zeros of a polynomial? The real values of the variable for which the value of the polynomial becomes 0 are called zeros of the polynomial. Now, what does that mean? We just found how we can find the value of the polynomial, correct? So, if at the end of the solution, when we find value of the polynomial, if we get the answer as 0, the number which we replaced by x is considered to be the zeros of a polynomial. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Whenever we find the value of a polynomial, okay, so whatever number we have replaced by x, at the end of the solution, if we get the answer as 0, that number is called as the zero of a polynomial. Okay, let's solve a question related to this so you can understand it. So P of x is equal to 5x cubed minus 3x square minus 5x plus 3 is the question. Okay, so replace x by 1. So what we are doing is we are simply replacing x by 1. P of 1, so what P of x will become P of 1. In place of x, what will put 1. So 5 into 1 minus 3 in 5 into 1 cube minus 3 into 1 square minus 5 into 1 plus 3. Okay, we have just replaced the x with 1. Okay, so we'll get 5. 5 into 1 is 5. 3 into 1 is 3. 5 into 1 is 5 and 3 as it is. Okay, so 5 minus 3 minus 5 plus 3. If you solve this further, you'll get the answer as 0. So, what is the value of the polynomial in this question? Value of the polynomial in this question is 0. Therefore, 1 is considered to be the 0 of the polynomial. So, if we get the answer as 0, the number through which we got the 0 is considered to be the 0 of the polynomial. So, here 1 is a 0 of the polynomial. Okay, so value of a polynomial becomes 0 for x is equal to 1. 1 is called 0 of a polynomial. So as we put x as 1 over here and we got the answer as 0. So 1 is called a 0 of a polynomial. Okay. So I hope you understood how you can find the 0 of a polynomial. Let's jump into some questions so you will be very much clear about this part because it's quite important. So the question is verify whether the following are zeros of the polynomial. Okay, so what you have to do in this case is just replace the x with whatever value they have mentioned in the question. Okay, so You too have to try them out in your book, so you will be able to get to know that did you understand this part or not. Okay, so let's look out for the solution. So what you have to do is, for like in the solution part, I've copied the same question as it is. Then substitute x is equal to minus 1 by 3. Because that is what they are mentioned in the question, that in place of x, you have to put minus 1 by 3. Okay. Check if the answer is 0. So that is the main agenda behind this. That whenever you have to find the zeros of the polynomial, substitute whatever the value is given. If the answer is 0, the given value is the 0 of the polynomial. Okay, so if this is the, if this particular thing is the 0 of this polynomial, okay, that is what we have to find. So let's see the solution. So in place of p of x, what we'll put? We'll put minus 1 by 3. Then 3 into minus 1 by 3, because in place of x we have put minus 1 by 3, plus 1 will be as it is. So you can see that in the first term, the 3 in the numerator and the denominator will get cancelled. So it will be minus 1 plus 1, that will be 0. Okay. So as we got the answer as 0, therefore, the given value is the 0 of the polynomial. Therefore, minus 1 by 3 is a 0 of p of x. Okay, let's look out for the next question. P of x is equal to 5x minus pi. X is equal to 4 by 5. So simply what you do, again, put 4 by 5 in place of x. So 5x, substitute 4 by 5 in place of x. So it will be P of 4 by 5 is equal to 5 into 4 by 5. Now 5 will again get cancelled in the numerator and denominator, and pi will be as it is. Okay, you don't have to put the value of pi in this case. You have to keep the pi as it is. So the 5 will get cancelled. The answer is 4 minus pi. And this is not equal to 0. Therefore, x, p of x is equal to 5x minus pi. So x is equal to 4 by 5 is not the 0 of the polynomial given. So 4 by 5 is not a 0 of p of x. Okay, so this is what you have to find simply. If you get the answer as 0, that is 0 of the polynomial. If you don't get it as 0, it is not the 0 of a polynomial. Okay. P of x, another question now. So P of x is equal to x square minus 1. Now in this we have two conditions. In first case you have to put x as 1, and in the second case you have to put x as minus 1. Okay. So what you have to do, substitute x is equal to 1. So first will put x is equal to 1, and in the second part will put x is equal to minus 1. Okay. So let's check out for the 1 first. So P of 1 is equal to 1 square minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Therefore, 1 is the 0 of the polynomial. Okay, let's check for the minus 1. So what will be minus 1 square minus 1? So 1 minus 1 will be equal to 0. Again, 1 and minus 1, both of these are the 0 of the given polynomial. Okay, so 1 is a 0 of p of x, and minus 1 is also the 0 of p of x. Another question. Okay, I'm making you sure that only one more to go and then we'll be done. Okay, so p of x is equal to x plus 1 and x minus 2. So in this first part, you have to put x as minus 1, and in the second part, you have to put the x as 2. So x plus 1 and x minus 2. So copy the question as it is. First part you have to substitute x as minus 1. So let's see what the answer is. Are you guys trying it or not? Okay, so let's see the answer to this. So let's consider first p of minus 1. So what is p of minus 1? P of minus is equal to minus 1 plus 1. Okay, we'll solve both the brackets. So minus 1 plus 1, minus 1 minus 2. Okay, so minus 1 plus 1 is what? It is 0. Okay, and minus 1 minus 2 is what? Minus 3. Okay, tell me now, what is the answer? Is it 0 or is it minus 3? Come on, tell me, what are the answer? Is it 0 or minus 3? Okay, it is 0 because 0 into minus 3 is 0. So if you multiply 0 with any given number, then the answer will be 0. Okay, so the answer to this question is what? It is 0. Okay, let's try for 2. Therefore, minus 1 is the 0 of the polynomial. Let's try for the 2. So p of x, x plus 1, x minus 2. So let's put 2 in place of x. So 2 plus 1. In the second bracket, 2 minus 2. So 3 into 0. Okay, this is not 3 the answer. Okay, the answer is 0. Therefore, 2 is also the 0 of the given polynomial. Okay, so I hope you have understood what, like how you have to find the 0 of a polynomial. The last question to how to find the 0 of a polynomial. So p of x is equal to x square and x is equal to 0. So in place of x, what do you have to put? 0. So let's put 0 in place of x square and check if the answer is 0. So 0 square is what? 0. So the answer is 0. So the 0 of the polynomial is 0. Okay, so it was quite of 0, 0. So 0 is the 0 of polynomial x. Okay, so in this way, whenever you have to find the 0 of a polynomial, the first thing is substitute whatever number they have given you in the question and find that are you getting the value as 0 at the end after the solution. If you get the answer as 0, the given term is the 0 of the polynomial. Okay, so we are almost done, like we are almost done with a part of the polynomial. Let's have a quick summary, like overall part which I've explained you in a quick way, and then we'll be done. Okay, so first was polynomial is an expression in which all powers of variables are whole numbers. Okay, this was the first part that we studied. Then constant is a fixed numerical value, that is 1, 13, 15, 855. These are constant. Variable is a letter which takes different numerical value is a variable. So it can be any alphabet from A to Z. Okay, degree is the highest power of the variable. Number associated with the variable is the coefficient. So whatever number will be present with the variable is considered to be the coefficient. Okay, types of polynomials. So types of polynomial was divided into two parts. So the first part was according to the term, and the second was according to the degree. Okay, so the first part was what are monomials. So monomial means one term, binomial two term, and trinomial means three terms. According to the degree, first was linear polynomial, highest degree was 1. Quadratic polynomial, highest degree was 2. Cubic polynomial, highest degree was 3. Then we found what are the real values What are the zeros of the polynomial? So the real values of the variable for which the value of the polynomial becomes 0 is the zero of the polynomial. So whenever you put some number in place of the variable and you get the answer, so that answer is called the value of the polynomial. And if you get 0, then it is called as the zero of the polynomial. Okay, so here we are done with the today's sneak peek into polynomial parts. Thank you for being here for this session, and I hope you liked it and enjoyed the whole part of polynomials and do practice it. See you for the next time in the webinar, and do join us at Learn Big for the sessions. And bye, take care.